share a lot of stories with you, a lot of fun ones. I mean, we one time at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, he and I used to have lunch together, maybe once a month, once every 2 months, between 76 and 80, 79 really. And one time we had a pepper eating contest. Oh my God. I mean, I challenged him to a pepper eating contest. We got these little peppers and both of us took the pepper. I couldn't breathe for about 5 minutes. I was watering from the eyes. I couldn't breathe. I thought I was going to suffocate. I finally started clearing up and I looked over. He was bright purple and he looked at me and said, "Okay, you ready for the second one, Art?" And I said, "You win, sir, stop." I mean, just a wonderful guy, fun, never used bad words, was funny but not risque, was great. You know, his exceptionalism, if I may say, he was not born in a manger. This is not God's son where he was born the way. The one thing that was really cool about Ronald Reagan is he learned from his mistakes and from his successes. And he really accentuated his successes and dropped his mistakes. He was the biggest tax increasing governor in history at the time he was governor. He raised the highest personal income tax rate from 9.2 to 11.2, raised the capital gains tax rate, raised the corporate rate, big social spending. He chaired the Equal Right Amendment, if you remember that at all. His legislation got rid of the anti-abortion statutes in the state of California. He was the pro-choice governor of California. You know, as time went on, how could that man become the greatest president in U.S. history? And the reason is he learned. And he learned from those mistakes while other governors, other politicians didn't. They just kept hanging on to their mistakes. The thing that made me so wonderful about Reagan was his ability to learn and to adapt and to go. He shifted policies because he learned, and that's what makes him the greatest president in my mind ever. Now there was one story, I'll tell you about it. It was at the Beverly Hills Hotel. We had a little meeting there, I think it was in 1979. And starting the session, the governor said, "Now Dick," this is to Dick Allen, who became the National Security Advisor, "Dick, I want you to sort of lay out the framework here for our discussion on broad policy for the next administration here, and I want you to sort of describe the post-World War II era to us. Could you give us a sort of a U.S. role in the post-World War II era?" And Dick Allen had a great sense of humor. He said, "Yes, sir, I can. You see, sir, we've been harassing our friends throughout the entire post-World War II era, and we've been cajoling our enemies throughout this whole period as well." And with that, Reagan said, "Excuse me, did you say harassing our friends and cajoling our enemies?" He said, "Yes, I did, sir. We've been cajoling our enemies and harassing our friends." And Reagan looked at him with a little quizzical look there, and he said, "Well, Dick, what's been the consequences from those policies?" He said, "Well, sir, we have absolutely no friends left, but we have lots and lots of enemies." And Reagan, we all were cracking up at the table, but Reagan was not cracking up. He said, "Well, Dick, I guess we're just going to have to reverse those policies now, aren't we? We're going to have to make our friends stinking rich with supply-side economics and scare the bejabbers out of our enemies with Star Wars." Now, at that moment, I knew we had just won the Third World War and that this would be the greatest period of U.S. history. I mean, here is a man who just really encapsulated these ideas perfectly in that. I found that Reagan got mad at me several times because I thought what he did was wrong. Now, I thought overall he was the best president ever, so don't miss that. But I was able to say that to him and discuss it with him. I mean, one time I said, "You know, sir, when you were governor," he said, "Stop right there, Art. I know I wasn't a very good governor. I know that, but at least I learned from my mistakes." And the truth is, that's what he did. And my role was never as an employee with him, and I can't tell you how wonderful that role was for me personally. I just loved it.